And on a special weekend, this is the 20th day of January 2024. You're just wondering how fast the month of January is. Month of January 2024, very fast, moving as if there's something that we are chasing. Just that tells you how older we're getting, how longer Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is in the dungeon of the DSS, how longer some of us are still being fooled and allowed to be stupid in the way we support criminality and all of that. How longer some of us are steadfast supporting the truth and all of that, and how much more we don't have time to do the right thing to get ourselves free and free indeed. I want to welcome you to this weekend, Saturday, the 20th day of January 2024. This is 2 minutes past 9 by my time. In BIAFRA land, it's 2 minutes past 10. And I know that wherever you are today, and you are glad to Yahweh, Chukwokika Elohim, who had granted you the opportunity to be part of the living. We are all alive today to testify of his love and his goodness. It might not be good the way you might not have gotten what you expected during the week. You might not have been fulfilled. You might not have been satisfied by the things that have happened, but you just have to give God praise and appreciate Chukwokike for the opportunity to be alive and opportunity also to look forward to better things coming. I want to also say to you that Chukwokike will see you through and help you, and you're going to get into next week from tomorrow successfully. And as you pursue what you are going for in wisdom and in deep understanding of wisdom, doing the right thing, you're going to get results. Also, please share this broadcast on all your social media platforms, because we're going to be going very, very deep into some things that I am going to be sharing with us today. There's so many things that I'm going to be talking about today, so many things I'm going to be pointing out to you. Very, very important, very educating. Today is going to be, wow, it's going to be explosive, and I want you to prepare your mind for this. I'm going to take my time. I'm going to take my time to explain things, because there are so many things we have to be aware of, the things that are happening that we have to be aware of. It's don't just continue within the cagey dungeon of ignorance, continuing in the cagey dungeon of ignorance. Continue to point out these things, because this is the period of emotional expression. Most of our people today are engrossed emotionally. The slavery from the sufferings, the pains and the agony and the troubles you are going through, both with the economy and at the same time with the slave. Painful. It's very, very, but the reason why this is so, the people who are, from our place, the people who are part of us, our brothers and sisters, are part of those being used to continue to subjugate us and to frustrate us. And because we are in the dispensation of emotional expression, few people reason properly. And so it only takes those who reason properly to begin and continually educate the people, as we are doing now, as I am doing from this platform, to continue to bring to your mind and continue to bring to your notice the wrongs that are going on, so that you don't get carried away. Once people are oppressed, in the situation of rejection, suffering, poverty, and all of that, it is likely that they would not reason properly. But the few people amongst them who can put one and one together to look at the situation and look at the things that are happening and dissect the information and help the others to begin to reason, it is at that point everybody will begin to understand, no, we need to do something about what we are going through and see that we come out of it. And that is what I am doing right now, as much as the few also that are out there who are speaking the truth. Basically, it is very unfortunate that we have so many people not speaking the truth at this point in time, but we know that the few of us will conquer because the truth will always overcome the lies. I want to welcome you to this podcast. This is BIAFRA Global Network, and my name is Kelechi Ambrose. And today I'm going to be taking you on a ride that is very, very critical and very, very interesting and very, very important for you to know and for you to understand. Because if you know the truth, it will make you free. It's a process. That is why the word make is used there. You shall know the truth, and the truth will make you free, not set you free. Make, because it's a process. Making. When you want to make something, you take a process. You want to prepare a tikai kong. You know the process. You first do this, you first do that, you first do that, you do this, and then you begin to do this and all of that. And those of you who know how to cook that food, and if you want to, even if you want to make and you want to cook rice, you know the process. Some of you would put the rice in and boil. Some of you would have to wash it, but definitely you put on you put the fire on, or you light the gas or the stove or whatever you're using, or the wood, charcoal or whatever, and then you bring the rice, you put it in, you measure the amount you want. It's a process until you get to what you want to get. The same way also the truth is a process for us to get to where we want to get. I want to bring your mind to this very, very critically. Now, today we're going to be looking at the things that are being done to continue to subjugate our people. Now, remember, I told you that taking away Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is very, very fundamental to the people. Just like what Jesus said, when you strike the shepherd, the sheep scatters, or the sheep will scatter. So Mazi Nnamdi Kanu had been a massive strength and covering for the Biafra people. In fact, the things that he had said over time, the teachings he had done, had helped to put us in perspective of where we're going and what we want to achieve. And the truth about it is that his words are very, very formidable to the point of making us carry out activities in line of the truth that he preaches. The fundamental thing is that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is always on a path of truth, and that has helped to, to give direction to the vulnerable, which means that as a vulnerable person, and as the one who is also not vulnerable, to lies and all of this stuff, when you hear Mazi Nnamdi Kanu speak, you just know that he's telling you the right thing and you have to do it. But when he's taken, and then some people now come in guise of Mazi, of speaking the truth, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is preaching, and they keep telling you some stuff. The vulnerable ones will be misled because they don't know, since this person is saying he's following Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, is he actually telling us what should be done right? You can't tell. But because they are carried away by their emotion, they would definitely get themselves trapped by these people. Now, I want you to understand here that the taking away of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu from us has left a very huge gap, so that many people are being deceived. And that is what I've come to open your eyes to. And it is very, 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 very interesting and very, very not surprising anyways that few people are looking critically on things and at things. Most of us now are concerned about water, or concerned about action, or concerned about, hey, they have shot one military person here in Biafra land. Hey, today they tell you they have gotten war materials. Today they say we are busy and allowing ourselves to be tossed here, tossed there, and confused. But the truth here is that there's a central point of truth that will help you stand the test of time, and so that you can formidably plan effectively for your freedom. Now, let me start this broadcast. Very, 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 very interesting times we are in, and very, very important times to understand and have basic experience. Because when you find yourself in interesting times, it is an opportunity to discover the strength you carry, at the same time to uncover lies so that you can identify truth. Very, very important. And that's what we have come to do. Now, I told us to beware of the following people, or following kinds of people. And I want to bring it step by step. I will begin to open your eyes one after the other to the people you have to be aware of. Now, we know that religion has been a very fundamental tool in destroying the lives of millions and millions of people all over the world, including in Biafra land, including in the Igbo and other tribes and all of that. Religion, I'm not talking about now. I want to first talk to those people who tend to say that we have to go back to our root. we have to go back to our roots. The white man's God. I don't know why it is called that way, anyways. But I want to make them understand that when they talk about the white man's God, they are actually talking about religion. It is actually attributed to religion, which means the white man or the Europeans designed the plan of God in their own eyes and in the pattern they want it to suit themselves and the way they want it to lift them and make them superior. And so they designed it that way and presented to us. So definitely that is religion. And that's an evidence of their, corruption, and evidence of the fact that they actually utilize or make the ways of God an instrument for destruction of the people. So the white man's God is religion, not really God himself. So now let me tell you, those of you who are talking about us going to our roots and all of this, it's good. There's nothing wrong with us going to our roots because our root is cultural to us. And you can't tell me that we can't access God through our root. No, that's not true. But the truth here is we must also open our minds to understand God better so that we understand the difference between God, his ways, and religion. Now, let me tell you something. Those of you who said that our root is the pure way to God, I want to open your eyes to something also, because some of you have argued about Jesus, you have argued about Christ, you have argued about, say he's a white man's program to deceive us. Now, don't forget also that even in our root, there are people who are manipulating the system. Now, do you get that? That are manipulating, using the God we worship, Chukwukike's name, to create misleading activities and manipulate and kill people. Today, we have false worshippers of God in our land who are, doing the roots, the Omenala thing, but they are using it to kill the people. Don't you see those who do rituals for those who do rituals for those who are going for money rituals? Those who do the charms, those who do the things for, these are the same people who tell you they are serving God, they are serving Chukwukike. They call Chukwukike when they are carrying out all of these activities, which means that it is not about going to the root. It's not about going to the root or going to a root or whatever. It is about identifying the true God by yourself. So when the scripture was created or the scripture was written and all of that, Britain was not existing. Britain came to understand this when the Roman Empire was in control. When the Roman Empire was in control, they discovered the Jewish way of worship. They discovered the things which we are from. We are from the Jewish nation. They discovered the Jewish way of worship. They discovered what they were doing. The British were in the Roman Empire then. And when they discovered these things, they decided to create and use the ways of God that is in that supreme scripture or that supreme book of God, to utilize it as a way of corrupting other people and destroying other people by designing it in the way they want it to look to suit themselves. So for the fact that they introduced Christ to you doesn't mean that Christ is not real. The same way also, for the fact that you go back to your roots doesn't mean that anybody who is doing traditional ways or in the root standard is correct, is true, is doing the right thing. Some of them are there using the name of God to destroy. Some of them are standing upright and doing the right thing. The same way also when it comes to Christ being the savior from God, some people are utilizing that to destroy, just like the British Empire did. They utilized it to destroy. And the same way also, some other people are walking in truth in that dimension. So you don't condemn Christ, God's program, according to what the scripture tells us. Chukwukike himself told us in the book, in the Old Testament, in the Torah, telling us the program of God coming through Christ. You don't condemn that because the British corrupted it and used it to manipulate and destroy or to penetrate us. No, you don't do that. That's a dangerous path to take. Don't go that way. So now, but of course, religion has been a way of destruction. Now, two ways it is being used. Before the British came, some people in our land were now beginning to corrupt Chukwukike's program against his people. There were these false prophets or false priests in our midst who were now beginning to kill our people. Those are the people that the warrant chiefs consulted. Those are the people that helped the kings those days, or the Ezes those days, to sell our people as slaves to the British. They consulted those who manipulated and corrupted the worship of Chukwokike. And these are the people that were utilized to make sure that slave trade was sustained under the Brit when the British came. It was the false prophets in our midst. See that as at that time, Christ was not being preached. As at that time, Omenala was not being argued. We were still doing the worship of our God, Chukwokike, in our ways. So, but the kings, the chiefs, I told you the story of one man who, one in Calabar then, who actually, one king who actually impregnated a 15-year-old girl. He had priests around powerful, and the 15-year-old girl gave birth. He also impregnated his own daughter from that 15-year-old girl at the age of 15. I told you that story. How was he able to do? Who were serving Omenala, way of worship, but yet they were corrupting that Omenala. They were corrupting the local worship of God, the God of our land. They were corrupting the program of the God of our land, and they were using it to enslave the people, to destroy the people. So when the British Empire came, the British didn't even corrupt of that and use it to favor the British and favor themselves. But Chukwokike was there. Chukwokike was being worshipped by people. Effectively, just like today, we have people worshiping God in truth as a means of corrupting. They have to use it to destroy. It is the same in Christianity. It is the same in our local way of worship. It is the same everywhere. So it is not unique to Christianity. So if the British had to design this program of Christianity to use it as a tool to disrupt our program, to destroy our people, to destroy our nation, to attack us and to put us in slavery, doesn't mean that Christ, as the Son of God and as God himself, as proclaimed by the scripture, is corrupt or is evil. No, just like for the fact that our local and there are local people in our land, local chief priests, yes, and priests who utilize the name of Chukwokike in the Omenala style to corrupt and destroy and sell our people as slaves and to imprison our people and to kill our people and to maim people, doesn't mean that Chukwokike is false. That is what it is. So now I'm going to be looking at the false ways of using Christianity as a way of worship. I'm not condemning Christianity, but I'm looking at the use of Christianity as a religion, because it now becomes a weapon when it is now religious, when it is now made a religion. Now I'm going to play a particular voice to you because I want to show you the hypocrisy of these religious people or these religious leaders that we have in the contraption who have endorsed slavery by sustaining Nigeria, who keep talking about pray for Nigeria and continue with Nigeria. Let's continue to do the things we need to do to sustain Nigeria. I'm going to be speaking about them. I'm going to play a particular voice where one of them shot himself on the foot. Now, they know that Nigeria is a British name to keep the indigenous people under one entity or under one control for the British. They know that. They know that we are not originally Nigerians. They know we are not Nigerians. I am Igbo. You might be Isoko, you might be others. But we are not Nigerians because originally that name Nigeria was instituted in 1914 by Lord Lugard through his girlfriend Flora Shaw. They named that area. How can one man and his girlfriend just name us? And then the British government, because they have been given the power by the British government to control the people by force, they now open their mouth to say, these people, let's call them Nigerians. And then they go to the British Royal House and they write it down. They will be called Nigerians. Okay, we accept that name. It's good. Call them Nigerians. That means call them idiots. Name them, take their real name from them and name them something else so that they will lose their identity, so that they will lose their personality, so that they will lose who they are, so that they will begin to now think like what we want them to think and the way we're programming them to reason. They now corrupted that and called us Nigerians. Of course, we're not Nigerians. I can never be a Nigerian. I will never be a Nigerian. My generations to come will not be Nigeria. So that is the truth. And I know you out there also don't agree to that fact. Now look at it. Now, as soon as that was done, through the help of some criminals in our local way of worship, some evil priests, some evil chiefs, some evil Azes that were in our land, corrupting Chukwueze Abiama's program, corrupting his program, towards our people, towards the Igbo land, destroying the reputation of Chukwueze, and all of that. They helped them to sustain this. Now, this current generation of pastors, reverends, fathers and preachers and all of that, evangelists, whatever they call themselves, whatever title, apostle or whatever they call themselves, in their body called cant, Christian Association of Nigeria, PFN, Pentecostal Fellowship of Nigeria, organ, and other people. I don't know whether organ is still existing, and all of this stuff. They refuse to say it clearly that Nigeria is not the name of the indigenous people. They refuse to stand out to the truth to make you understand that Nigeria is not God's program, because that is not what we are. Britain cannot be our God. So if God creates us and we are now Igbos and we are now Isokos, and we are now Yorubas, and we are now Oduduwa, we are now Hausas, we are now every of the tribes, and then suddenly one man comes from somewhere and says, now all of you will become Nigerians. That is not God's program, because God cannot put us under slavery. God is not mocked. God is not a destructive person. God does not destroy people's identity. If you check it through scripture all the while, he doesn't destroy people's identity. So now, God didn't bring Britain to destroy our identity, to cut our religion, to cut our way of worship, our way of beliefs, and our culture and tradition away, and then use them to control us. No. Now, if the present priests and pastors are now endorsing this and saying that we should pray for that slavery name, we should pray for the sustenance of the slavery program, then something is wrong somewhere, which means that alone is a sign and an evidence that they are false. Now, I'm going to play a particular voice note here that opens the fact that these people know the truth, but they keep manipulating the whole process to keep themselves gaining from the control Britain has over us in the name of Nigeria. These pastors, I'm not saying all, but majority of them, if the leadership in that Christian Association of Nigeria, PFN, Pentecostal Fellowship of Nigeria, and other bodies and organizations are not speaking out truly to say that the people need to be free because they are not originally Nigerians. They are Igbos, they are Yorubas, they are Isokos, they are this and they are that. If they are not mentioning it out that way, then it means that they are hiding something. And if around what they say and as they preach, they now shoot themselves on the foot, it simply means that they actually know what they are doing, but they don't choose to speak. Now, this is an Oduduwa man, an Oduduwa pastor who went to Ethiopia. The voice message I'm going to play now is an Oduduwa pastor who went to Ethiopia to speak, to preach, to speak. I don't know, it was a stadium anyways. He was invited to speak. And he was talking about the uniqueness of Ethiopia. He was given some illustrations and some information, of course, from scripture, from the Bible, and truth account of what is detailed in the Bible about Ethiopia. Of course, they are correct. I'm not arguing that. But it came to a point where he now said something critical about slavery that I took notice of. And I want to bring your mind to it today to show you that the pastors in Nigeria are the instruments of Nigeria to continue to subjugate, to enslave the people, and to keep them under the British control. The pastors, they know what they're doing. He made this statement. He didn't make it in his land. He made it in Ethiopia. Now, listen to what he said to the people in Ethiopia. Now, in one of the crusades, he was a guest. He said something critical. Now listen to what he said to the people of Ethiopia in their land. He is an Oduduwa man, an Oduduwa pastor. He didn't say this. He didn't talk about this. He knows that slavery is evil, yet he wants his people to remain under slavery. Now listen to what he said to them.
It wasn't for them. So my message is focus on Christ. Don't focus on opposing each other. Focus on Christ. If you're here, let your amen thunder like fire. Amen. Listen, please. You are a people of prophecy. That from the mouth of God, came out this prophecy that it will take one day where Ethiopia will stretch out his hand before the Lord. This scripture does not talk of any other country but Ethiopia.
Now he is trying to make Ethiopians understand their place in the program of God. Of course, by scripture, it is there. God talked about Ethiopia several times, and it is there. So we're not arguing that. Yes. But I want you to keep your ears close to the sound you are hearing. You're going to hear a statement he's going to make, I think, in the next 1 minute or so, that would reveal that these people are evil. Now listen.
That means there was a time Ethiopia was not stretching out its hands. But the Bible says Ethiopia shall stretch out its hands in the end times, and these are the end times. But the word stretch means it will expand. That means in every country there will be an Ethiopian leading something in there to do with the spiritual magnitude of God. If ever there was a verse to take you to countries, a visa to take you to countries, it is this verse. There is a prophetic word that you will stretch out your hand before the Lord. And for those who understand spiritual things, your hands are a point of contact for
just
power.
Listen.
Because a man who kneels down before God will stand before any man. And a nation that stretches out his hand to the Lord will stand before any nation. Have you ever wondered why Ethiopia is one of the only countries, if not the only country, that was never colonized?
He said, have you ever wondered that Ethiopia is one of the only countries that was not colonized? Now listen. Have you ever wondered? Now, I want you to reason. Have you ever wondered? That means there is a need to meditate and ponder over it, that Ethiopia was not colonized, which means that being colonized is not God's plan. Being colonized is actually a way of defeating the program of God for a people. That means when you are colonized, that means you are not in God's plan or will for you. You have to be free. Listen to what he said.
Have you ever wondered the protection God has given you from ages past?
Now, listen, he attributed not being colonized to protection. Now, I think I have people who reason here. Let's reason. He said, have you ever wondered why Ethiopia is one of the countries not colonized? Have you ever wondered the protection God is giving you on every side? That means if you are under colonization, you are not protected by God. But if you have not been colonized, as people who have not been colonized, that means God protected you against colonial masters. This is an Oduduwa preacher. And he's in his land, his people are under the colonization of the British in Nigeria, because Nigeria is the British program. The people are being controlled by the Fulanis. His people are being controlled by the Fulanis. His people are under the subjugation of Britain. They are still called Nigerians, whereas they are Oduduwans or Yorubas, whatever they want to call themselves. These people are still under that colonized program of the Nigeria stuff. And he's coming to tell the Ethiopians, have you ever wondered why you have not been colonized before? He now goes further to make the statement and said, have you ever wondered why God is protecting you on all sides? Which means that once you are not colonized, it is actually God that protected you from being colonized. So does it mean now that his own people, the people in Nigeria, under the Nigeria contraption, that is why they were colonized? He is an Oduduwa man. He went to Ethiopia to say this. That means he knows that colonization is that God has not people, and if God is not protecting you, since you are under the colonization and all of that, that means you need to come out of it so that you can get into it. So if God is protecting you, you will not be colonized. That's what he's saying. Now I'll play it again. Listen, let me take it back a little. Listen.
Have you ever wondered why Ethiopia is one of the only countries, if not the only country, that was never colonized? Protection God has given you from ages past. And now God says you are going to stretch your hands toward me.
Have you ever wondered? That is where I wanted you to hear. Have you ever wondered why you are one of the countries, or if not the only country, that has not been colonized? That's how he put it. Now said, have you ever wondered how God have been protecting you from ages past? That means it was the protection of God that kept them away from being colonized, which means that if you are being colonized, it is not God's will for you. And that is why God, if it was God's will for you, then Ethiopia would have been colonized too. If God's program also involves you being colonized, that means Ethiopia too should be colonized. But if Ethiopia is not colonized, it simply means that God is protecting them from ages past and stop the colonial masters from coming to their land. That is what he's saying. So what is he going to say about those ones who are trapped in Nigeria? Now you see the double standards these so-called preachers engage in. You see the way they speak against what they say and then contradict themselves. Why is he attributing, ask yourself this question, why is he attributing protection to being saved from colonization? Why is he attributing one who has not been colonized to be one who is protected by God? That is the critical question we should ask ourselves. So if one who is colonized was outside the protection of God and fell into colonization because they were outside the protection of God, why is he now telling the people to pray for Nigeria, which is a program that fell on his people because they were outside the protection of God? Why is he telling them to pray that thing that came upon them since they are outside the protection of God, to remain? Why does he tell them to pray to sustain that thing? Why are they telling them to sustain Nigeria, to pray to sustain Nigeria, when he knows that Nigeria came upon the people because they were outside the protection of God, according to what he said? They were outside the protection of God. That was why colonization caught up with them. So which means that if they were not outside the protection of God, if they were in the protection of God, they would not have been colonized. Now they were outside the protection of God, so they became colonized. Now he goes to his ministry in the zoo in Nigeria as an Oduduwa preacher. He tells his people to pray for Nigeria, to pray that Nigeria becomes better, to pray that Nigeria gets good. Whereas he knows that Nigeria is a colonial name and a colonial arrangement to keep his people under colonization, to keep his people under subjugation. Now he's telling them to pray that that name is sustained, that name Nigeria continues, that Nigeria continues the way it is, keeping them under subjugation and colonization. So what does that tell you? It simply means that keep praying that you continue to remain outside the protection of God so that you will continue to be colonized. Get this. Anytime they tell you to pray for Nigeria, know that they know that you are in bondage. But they want you to remain in bondage, because in bondage you will continue to be frustrated, you will continue to hope for better life. That means whenever they tell you to give for a better life, to sow seed for a better life, you are going to sow. They will keep telling you some stuff, telling you it is coming. They will keep telling you and speaking to you in a way, sweet talking you to believe that something good is about to come to break the yoke. But pray that that yoke continues, because if the yoke continues, that is the only way I'm going to extort money from you. And so if Nigeria continues, that is the only way I'm going to extort money from you. So as much as you continue to pray that Nigeria continues, I will keep getting the monies from you, but I will keep telling you to bring the money so that the yoke will be broken. And then I'll keep telling you to pray that the yoke will remain in another way by sustaining Nigeria. So in the other way around, they tell you to sustain the yoke. In the other way, in the other part of it now, they tell you to bring money so that the yoke will be broken. So they know what they are doing. They actually understand the implication of their programs and their actions. Because the more the yoke remains, the more you are desperate to be lifted or to get out of the yoke. And then they tell you, now, I have a solution for that yoke to be taken away from you. Just bring your resources, bring your monies, bring your first fruit, your first salary for the year, bring it. Sow a seed of faith, sow this and all of that. God would have to bless you by your, that means God doesn't bless when you don't give the man money. This is the manipulation going on in the ministries everywhere, especially in Africa, in the zoo also very strongly. You can imagine what he said. Have you ever wondered? So that means he always sat to reminisce over these things. Slavery is a product of God's protection being away from a people. Slavery is a sign or an evidence that people are outside the protection of God. Just like Israel was under slavery in Egypt, God said, I'm going to show that you are my people. I am going to stretch my hands very strongly over Egypt for keeping you under them, for making you their slaves, for putting you under slavery. I am going to deal with them seriously. So God moves them, said, I want these people out of your control because they have to come to stay under my protection, and I be their God in the land I'm going to give them. So why is his own people under Nigeria suffering, going through hell, going through pain, yet he is going to Ethiopia to tell them that they are actually people who are in the protection of God because they had never been colonized? And he tells his people to pray that the colonial program continues on them. Of course, he's not telling only Oduduwa people. He's telling because in fact, there are more Igbos in most of these ministries of these Oduduwa people than their people. There are more Igbos. But the people who have the titles are the Oduduwa people. When you go to any Oduduwa ministry, check it out. The Igbos who are pastors don't hold a very significant position. This tells you that this is a business. It is their people. Once they get an Igbo man that is very, very vibrant, what they do is they post you to a place where you're going to go to start to build. And once the ministry grows to an extent, they remove you, take you to another remote place. Then they bring their man, their fellow Oduduwa brother, and put him in there. He now begins to enjoy the fruit of what you labored for. That's what they are doing. That's what check the Oduduwa ministries. The big ministries are controlled by their own people. Why are we so evil to ourselves? Why? Why are we allowing this evil to happen? So this is a very huge sign to you that the religious people, the religious leaders today, are instruments in the hands of the Nigeria contraption, the colonial masters, to keep you where you belong. Remember, the colonial masters came with religion to control you. The religious leaders sustain that religion as a means of controlling you, so that they will keep getting stuff from you as the colonial masters get from you. So the colonial masters are getting based on the fact that they have used religion to suppress you. These ones now are still making you believe and continue in that religious mindset, so that they too will be getting from you as much as the colonial masters get from you. So you are stuck. You are stuck on every side. That is what is happening. This is number one set of people you have to avoid. Beware of them. Beware of them. It is not by force you must go to a ministry to sit down and somebody have to pray and preach. You can be on your own, gather your family people, do look at the scripture. The scripture is true. Nobody's disputing the scripture. I'm not disputing Christ. I'm not disputing his power to save, or his position, or what he came to do on earth. I'm not disputing that. I believe in him. I believe in Christ. I believe that he came to die for us because Chukwuokike sent him as a program for redemption. I believe in it. I've read the scripture so much. I've read so many materials, and I understand the role of what Christ came to do. So I'm not disputing that. But the truth here is, that does not make me foolish that I cannot identify the wolves in our midst, putting on sheep clothing, coming to manipulate the people. The Christian Association of Nigeria, PFN, and all of these people have not stood against this colonial program, which they understand that it is a sign that God's protection is not on the people. And he knows that these people must survive and succeed if they go back to their land and their nations. The Oduduwa man doesn't want that to happen, because if the Igbo man goes back to his land by freedom, he will have less members. His people will now begin to understand that we need to go do what we have to do on our own ways. Only few of our people will be out of our land. So he will not have much members coming from all places. The Igbo man too also, doesn't want the thing to, because he wants access to other lands to make some stuff for himself and to get members from every corner too. Everybody thinks of, everyone is thinking of this greedy side of survival, how they alone will amass the wealth, how they can control other people, how they can mess other people up. This is what is happening, and this is number 1 point. Now, number 2, there is another set of people who are in the political line. Remember, I've dealt with the issue of the religion. Religion is a very strong tool. This, we can't exhaust this topic. If I keep talking about this, there are so many things I have to say under this religious stuff that I'll keep saying it in subsequent broadcasts. But let me look at this, the political side. Now, the political side is very complex because it involves both the religious leaders. They help to sustain the political side. It also involves the civilians and brothers around your corner, people who are living in your corners, who have been bought over and who work for the politicians. Just like the story I told you yesterday about the strong women who carried out the Ogun Umwai, in 1929, the Ogun Umwai, against the colonial tax burden that was brought against the women. You saw one man who is called Emerowa, who is a servant to a warrant chief, Ukugo, who is serving the colonial masters. Now he's a servant to that warrant chief. That warrant chief is a political appointee. He's a politician. The Emerowa is a servant. He's not a politician, but he is one of the people from the communities being used to execute they always use the people on the grassroots because those ones are desperate. Those are where the betrayals are. That is where the betrayal is. That is where the betrayal is. That is where the betrayal is executed. There's the first stage of betrayal, the executive level, which is the slave master. Then we have the legislative level, which is the recruits from those ones who are brought in and appointed to become politicians under the slave master. Then we have the judicial end of it, which is those who activate or carry out or execute. Remember, those ones who there are playing the role of executing and at the same time playing the role of implementing. So because that's what the judicial end does, playing the role of executing and implementing. So that is where the complex problem is. Now, we have such kinds of people in people like Reno or Mokri, in people like even in the Biafra project, Biafra movement, those who claim to be fighting for freedom, those who claim to be Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's disciples, those who claim to be for the people and all of that. We have many of them. We have those who, now I always want to talk about this DOS people. You see, when we talk about DOS is not an individual, it is an office. But there are people who are working in that office. And these are people who are appointed to serve under the office of the DOS, Directorate of States. The Directorate of States is the highest arm of IPOB, Indigenous People of Biafra. DOS is not any individual. Any individual serving there now is not synonymous to DOS. It's only a servant working under that office. And when they are removed, somebody else can take that place and that position. The reason why today I can never endorse or support or lend my voice to anything the current people serving under the DOS do is this one simple reason. You cannot be there and Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is missing for 8 days and you tell me call him day 1, day 2, day 3. The argument that he never told you where he is going is stupid. It's insane. He doesn't need to tell you where he is, where he's going and all of that. He doesn't. It is a privilege if he does that. If he tells you that I am going to Kenya, it's a privilege. But that doesn't mean that he's compelled. So justifying your stupidity and your action by saying that he never told us he was in Kenya is silly. It's insane. It's stupid. Day 5, day 6, and you kept quiet. You never raised alarm. You never asked questions. You never made broadcast. You never, start raising alarm and all of that. You never asked questions. You just kept quiet until the enemies who had him for the number of days came all out to tell the world. Every member of the DOS in that office. For the fact, now let's just say, okay, let's just assume that none of you were part of, which of course cannot be true. Some of you are part of those who actively got involved in the sale of the betrayal of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Some of you are part of it, we know that one, sure. From actions, from behavior, from everything going on, you will know. But we don't have the evidence to prove. But the evidence is the actions you take. But we need a very comprehensive committee, a fact-finding committee, to look into that and bring all these evidences together so that we can have a formidable report on it that will tell us who is involved and how they are involved and all of that. We need that formidable, and of course the present DOS can never give you that formidable committee to do that. They'll never do it because some of them are part of those who sold Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Now let me tell you, as long as they kept quiet and Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was taken away for over 8 days before the enemies announced to us and told the world that he has been captured, that alone disqualifies everyone under the DOS and makes them no more qualified to be appointed in any position in IPB, under IPB. That alone disqualifies even the good one amongst them. That alone disqualifies even the good ones, those innocent ones among them. Because as long as you are under that office and you normally have meetings with Mazi Nnamdi Kanu regularly, and for 8 days you never heard anything, people like us who are not part of it cannot, there's no, we just believe that those ones in DOS are relating. So there's this communication and all of that going on. That alone, I can't be in the DOS and Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is missing 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, 4 days. I will raise alarm. That alone is a critical evidence against everyone on the DOS. So the issue of the DOS is out of it. Unless Mazi Nnamdi Kanu comes out and says, just allow them, let me just leave them, and says, okay, let's get a fact-finding committee, let's find out who, and then they identify those ones who actively are involved in what happened, and then they announce, okay, these are those ones who are going to be removed from the DOS, and then the others will go in. That's a different thing. But for now, every one of them are not important in this whole thing anymore. I can't follow. I'm not even following anybody anyways. Yeah, I'm only supporting and following Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, who is called to do the work. And all I do is support any other person who is also doing the work. So the DOS is out of the picture. People like Simon and his group, those ones, of course, evidently that these ones are hustling for their own selves. They just want to have positions. Those ones who are working in that field are looking for positions to occupy. And everything that group is doing is just to be in control, to dislodge. Now they tell you ESN that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu created. Somebody who is in dungeon, who is suffering. What he created, you are destroying it. You said it no more exists. And he's in dungeon because of that thing he created, ESN. He's in the dungeon of the DO and DSS because he created ESN. Now you come to abolish ESN. That is his heartbeat, that he keeps telling them that he's not going to give up because of ESN and because of the program. And because he has not sold out, he has refused to renounce and call off ESN. They told him to call off ESN. They will free him. They told him, call off ESN, dismantle ESN. He said, no, I'm not going to dismantle ESN. And one of the things that is still keeping him there, and one man comes up and says he has abolished ESN, and he's now having his own militia. And everybody, or some people, are supporting it. You don't see betrayal in it, then something is wrong with you. Your insight, your foresight, your hindsight is locked up in stupidity and ignorance. You don't follow blindly, you have to reason. So these are people that these are signs, these are the things that will tell you, no matter what they do, even if they go today to Aso Rock, to bomb Aso Rock today and destroy Aso Rock, I still will not agree with you, Because the truth about it is that everything you are doing is just for yourself. You are trying to be in control. ESN has been reigning. I want to have something that will reign in my name, that I'm the one who created it. So I cut off ESN. I take some of their members, destroy it, scatter it, then take some of their members into my militia group. And then give it my own name. So it will be that, oh, who formed this one? It is me. It is me, EPA. That's stupid. That's nonsense. Program of freedom is not about who formed what and who is in charge. No, the person who is in charge, who has been there and whom we are all working and using his name to work, should not be the victim, or we should not capitalize on that and put him in jeopardy. You cannot come and disrupt and destroy what somebody is in dungeon or in prison for, and then you now destroy it and you tell me that you're working for that person or you're working under him. No, I can't go to prison because I created, something that will provide jobs, for instance, to free people from slavery or give people jobs. And they tell me, no, this will disturb. For instance, I create maybe a universal vaccine that will make sure that any kind of disease that comes up with the create, whether in Wuhan or wherever they create it, nobody, once you take one, you can never be sick again in your life. And they now capture me and put me in lock me up and say, because they know they want to be selling. The pharmaceutical companies and all these people, Bill Gates and all of that, investing in vaccines and all of that, want to keep making money. And they plan to capture me and put me somewhere. And they tell me, we must make sure you don't produce this stuff again. You must tell them that this thing doesn't work and you must stop production of this product, because we want people to continue to be sick, so that they will be buying our vaccines and buying our medicines. Why would you come and give a drug that nobody will be sick again in their life? And I said, no, I'm not going to stop it. I will keep producing, and I want everybody to be alive. And because of that, they keep me in prison. And you are somebody who has been working with me, and I've endorsed you. And because I endorsed you, I like you. I have taught you some things, the way you can do it, how this drug can be done to sustain life. And then you now see that I'm in prison. You now destroy the workshop where this drug is being produced. You take all some of my materials, very important materials. You now open another workshop and put those materials there. And then you dislodge and begin to blackmail those ones who are still working under the workshop as I set up before. And you begin to kill some of them who don't agree to you, and you destabilize and destroy it. And then you now begin to give your own workshop another name and say, this is the workshop that is producing, that will produce this thing better. That is betrayal. Common sense. That is betrayal. That is what we call betrayal. So these are the signs you should see and understand that these ones are actually working the Nigeria program. Nigeria took Mazi Nnamdi Kanu away, and they allowed these ones to thrive because they know that they will keep keeping. Once the shepherd is taken away, there will be confusion. It's normal. They know that these people will keep you in confusion. That is why you have this confusion. Now, the ones again that are very, very dangerous, that some of us have not taken notice about, is people like Reno Omokri. Now, if you observe, go to Reno Omokri's, I'm using him because he's more conspicuous than other people. Now, if you observe Reno, he has always tried to portray himself as a very outstanding person and as a very innocent person, as someone who has not soiled his hands in the time he had with PDP and under the politicians, and as a political person and all of that, appointee and all of that. He tried to create an impression that he had always stood for truth. And what he has been doing over the years on his Twitter account, and maybe other places, I know about Twitter very well because I try to go and observe what these people are doing on Twitter, because that's where you meet lots of people who are serious-minded in discussion, and that's where the real deceit comes. Because whatever you say on Twitter looks like more real, or the X anyways, it's no more Twitter, it's now X. What you say now, it looks more real than whatever I said anywhere. And so I began to follow up what he's posting. And recently, after the elections, before the elections, the February elections, 25th or February 25th election or so, before that, what he has been doing, of course, on social media is portray himself as someone who has not soiled his hands, who has not stolen, who has not done anything to be corrupt under the politicians. Even if he worked with corrupt people, he keeps supporting the one he's going to support at a particular time. And when he falls out with that one, he goes to another one. He keeps supporting someone like Atiku, for instance. He has been supporting some other people before now. and he has fallen out. Peter Obi too, who has been there, he has been supporting him, talking good about him. It is now that he knows that Peter Obi killed people. It is now that he knows he can talk about those stuff. Now, that alone is an evidence that these ones are people who are political instruments in the hands of political godfathers and in the hands of the colonial masters. Now, if you observe also on his platform, the line and the strategy he used in getting so many people, on to be his subscribers or to be following him on Twitter, is the line of teaching people how to make money, how to make resources, how to gather themselves together, how to sustain their relationships, how to discover resources and all of that for their personal growth and development and for their progress and all of that, how to be rich, how to make money, how to subscribe to him, and then make money. So many things about that. And people, that's why I told you that economic strangulation is a program of the colonial masters or the slave masters to keep the people subjugated, so that you keep hoping and seeking for better opportunities. Anything that is projected to you or shown to you, when you give a hungry man bread, he can do anything for it because he's hungry. That is why the religious leaders are surviving and succeeding in Nigeria, making a hell. They are billionaires. Some of them have private jets and all of that, because they need you to be down. So they keep telling you they keep giving you hope. And because you are believing in them that there is somebody there who's going to do it according to how they have said it, you will keep giving them the little you have, and they keep getting little from you, get little from another person, get little from another person, and get from 1 million people that little coming from everywhere. They collect your first fruit every year. All the salaries of 1,000 people in their ministry is taken from them. Let's say each person's salary is 50,000 each month, and 1,000 will give them 50,000. That year alone, they have amassed enough wealth, and then the offerings after that, and the seed of faith, and all of this stuff. They know that your poverty is important because it will make you desperate. You will not be thinking anymore. You want to secure your future, so they'll keep telling you what they need to tell you so that you secure your future. This is what they do. So also in the political arena, they use these kinds of people like Reno to keep teaching the people, you're going to make money, you can make money, how you can make money, how you can do this, how you can do that. Now they are giving you an impression that they are there to help you. Now the current political disposition or dispensation now in the zoo contraption Nigeria, has now contracted him. If you observe, it is common sense. You don't need to know that this one has been contracted to keep, because they know his position. They know that he had gotten lots of people believing in him through the programs he has been carrying out. They know that lots of people are now believing in what he's doing. So what they have now done is they have now contracted him, the Tinubu administration. One Nigeria, they have kept Mazi Nnamdi Kanu somewhere. So since Mazi Nnamdi Kanu have been kept somewhere, the people now are scattered. The sheep are scattered. So what they need to do now, continue to pro. Same time as he keeps telling you, you can make money from this, you can make money from that, you can do this, you can do that. He keeps preaching that you keep loving him, and you doing, wow, Reno has changed my life. I've learned how to get this. They make you learn how to get stipends, and you begin to jubilate. Oh, wow. And people also want to also want to get, please, no, please, we need to get to learn. Please, we need to get to do this. And the more they keep saying it, the more he keeps telling them, okay, do this and you'll get it. Do that. Is going to, Tinubu has done administration, supports what is being done well. Oh, Tinubu has done that well. We must support what is being done. We must always appreciate success. We must always appreciate people when they do well. The truth about it is that once you endorse Nigeria, and no matter what you are doing well under Nigeria, you are false. Because you can't endorse slavery for me and tell me that this one who is being used by the slave master to enslave me is doing well. How is he doing well? Because he reduced the price of fuel, because he bought vehicles, he reduced cost of transportation, or what? Or maybe I'm just giving you some instances anyways. Or maybe he decided to give every youth 20,000 every month who is not working, 20,000 every month, or 50,000 every month. He decides to do something. That does not mean he's doing well. As long as it is under the slave master, It is determined for something. When they give you 20,000 as a youth who is not working, there's something they have planned that they are making more, and there's something about it that they will need to, they are capitalizing on to do this to block you and to close your eyes from noticing what they're doing. So there's something they are stealing from you that they don't want you to look. There's something they want to suppress in you that they don't want you to complain about. Reject this Nigerian narrative. Go to Twitter, just scroll up, look at everything. He keeps talking about how you're going to succeed. The next moment, after 2-3 tweets like that, or so, he now brings a storyline that will project the Nigerian narrative, that will sell the Nigeria idea, that will make you endorse the current government, that will make you believe that we must be united, we must continue to stay together. Even if they're killing you, one day the killings will stop. Even if Fulanis are killing you, we don't need to look at that. Let's keep looking at how we're going to grow ourselves, grow our economy, grow this. With time, it will fade off. How will it fade off? He cannot tell you. Because there's no way killings, living with Fulani, is going to work. They have an agenda. By their religious understanding, they have been programmed and designed to kill you. How will this stop? He wants you to keep living with these people under one country where they have access to your land to come kill you and run away. When they come kill you and run away, he'll come, oh, I condemn this. I condemn the killing of this. And that is the end. The next thing he tells you about how you're going to succeed. Then he makes you forget the killings and you begin to live your life normally again as if everything is okay. Then the next time they come again and kill another people, maybe you become a victim. The next people who are living will now look at, oh, they've killed you, will now go again and say, I condemn this. This is not what we should be doing. This should not be happening. I condemn it. Then the next moment, he tells you about how you're going to succeed again, how you should live good with your wife, how you can make your wife the queen, so that you can tell you so many things that will distract you, because these are the things you yearn. People want to satisfy their pleasure. People want to satisfy their emotion. So they want people who keep telling them things that will make them feel good, that will arouse their feelings. That is the strategy. These are the people you should be aware of. Go to their platform. You'll see them teaching you how to grow your life, how to grow your relationship, how to grow your marriage, how to grow your family, how to grow your children, how to educate you, how to get more, how to make more, get more income, how to have 3 jobs, how to do online businesses. And then in the midst of each of these publications, you see them projecting Nigeria. Nigeria is doing this. The present government have done this. They are doing this. We should appreciate good things. They make you, because they know Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is no more there, and he's no more talking, because if he's there, he'll keep talking, and no matter what these people say, you are not going to listen. And they know that faith comes by hearing. What you keep hearing has a way of impacting you. You keep hearing that thing over and over and over. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is no more there, and most of you will not listen to me when I speak. Most of you will not listen to any other person. All you listen to is, he already has an image, and he is already teaching you how to make money. So you keep listening. He has already been there. And you already have beef with me because I don't like the person you are following. I've been telling you not to follow this person. I've told you not to follow Chinasa. I've told you not to follow Simon. I've told you not to say it. So you just don't, anything I say again, it's not important. Whatever I say again, you don't want to listen. So many people don't watch me again and listen to my words or the things I say, or follow the broadcast. Some of them have unsubscribed because I refused to endorse the criminality they want to hear about. And I am not a hypocrite. I'll keep telling the truth. That's what I keep doing. These are the people you should be aware of. Nigeria has really capitalized on the present situation. They know the sheep will scatter. They have prepared the people who are working under them, like Emeruwa, who was working under under Ukugo, who was a warrant chief in the colonial days in 1929. They have prepared them to continue to feed you with information about success, how to make money, how to do this. Then they keep from there stealthily bringing the ideas of Nigeria to you, and somehow you are agreeing with them. Somehow if you go there, you see people say, oh, well, he has tried. Let him do this. Let him do that. Now, people are beginning to take Nigeria as it's possible it can work. Nobody's not talking about outright freedom. Only few people who understand this trick. It is a massive deception concept. And people like Reno, they get these people that you have believed in, the people that you have taken as people who are upright and who want your good. They get these people, give them enough resources to talk about them. Look at the way he talks about Tinubu. Look at the way he projects Nigeria. Look at the way and I have tagged him several times. You have been talking about justice and all of that. You have been talking about how Tinubu is doing well. Tinubu has not released somebody who is in jail for doing nothing wrong, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. And you have not called Tinubu out to say that he should free him. Yet you are telling us of how he has done this, he has done that. If he is true, why is it that he's avoiding anything? Why is he not responding to me? Because he knows he cannot argue that fact out. He can respond to somebody who have posted at him, Reno, I'm grateful. I subscribe to you and I've made so amount. Wow, look at the picture. He will now repost it. But the one I wrote, you said Tinubu is doing well. Tell him to release Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. If he's doing well, that means he is respecting fundamental human rights. If he's a respecter of fundamental human rights, why is he detaining someone who is innocent? And the Reno refused to pretend as if he has not seen that tweet. He doesn't say anything about it. He doesn't come to tell you that I posted this kind of thing. He won't tell you because he doesn't want people to hear. It is the one he wants you to hear. The one people who say that I subscribe to him and I've made money. That's the one he wants you to hear, so that he keep getting more of you around him, and then he keeps preaching Nigeria to you and deceiving you. What more? How else do you know those who are dangerous? These are the signs. That is why I keep telling you, do not be manipulated or deceived. Don't allow yourself to be deceived. Don't follow because you are just excited or because you are hearing something that is exciting you from them. Because the issue of freedom is strategic. That is why I'm telling us now that we don't even need to go this dimension again that they have used to steal money from you several times. There is this dimension that is more potent to develop our people, develop our land, each community. Develop each community, develop each person under their community, and then help them to sustain and get something meaningful that they can look forward to as a hope that their lives has an insurance to an extent, or their future is insured. Their future is insured. Now, when they get to that point, it is easier to organize a program that will help to freedom, not violence. You'll see that freedom would be easier without violence. I'm telling you. Once we get to the point of, that is why, I keep telling us, let's come together. All this noise we're making, in 2003, we'll get BIAFRA. Oh, 2003, we have gotten it already. Because by the time we did this and we did that, that means we have gotten it. Manipulation. And then later, Wazuke couldn't get you BIAFRA. Why are you thinking that I'll get it for you? If you continue in that dimension, you will not get it. The best way is we must organize the economic program. We will get freedom without violence. I tell you, by the time we come together and we begin to develop each person in each community, see, that's your community that you think that there's nothing inside. You'll be surprised at the things you can make in that community. It go good to have you. I've seen your message. Then no one to go the way of development. We don't shout tire. Then could go whatever way. But we'll keep preaching. That's why I don't give up in what I believe. I believe, and I have researched on it. I have prayed about it. I have dreamt about it. I have reminisced. I have meditated over this thing at night. God, there's one power I have at night, midnight. There's some inspiration that comes to me. Once I'm awake and I'm meditating over something, definitely I'll get result from it. The economic program is the only sure way out of this. By the time you and I in our land, we now get our future insured, that we know that yes, we are surviving effectively in our communities. naturally we will see that the program of freedom will be smooth. I tell you. But these are the things we are calling out for. And I know we're going to get it, because definitely very soon the website we're building will come to play. Then we would have set the standards in the website that will help you now connect to your community under that website, so that you will now begin to, the website is out already. You know, we launched it last year. But this time around, what we want to do is we want to segment it professionally to carry the narrative we have in a plan and program. When you come in there, you now, under that website, you will be in your community. So you connect with your community people all over the nations of the world and under that website. And then you will see the programs that are needed to be done and the things we need to do together to build your community and build yourself and secure your destiny in your community. BIAFRAs all over the nations of the world will start coming back. And you see that naturally we would walk into our freedom. I don't need to begin to explain things to you on how that naturally to be, but it's a secret. That's where the secret is. It's very easy. The evil ones cashing out with will not want such, because they are gaining from the chaos. Of course. Why would they want it? Emeruwa was working under Ukugo in 1928, 1929. You know, under the Warrant Chief Ukugo, who is working for the British colonial masters, and he knew that he needed to survive. He even attacked one year because he felt that if he doesn't attack this woman, he is not going to make money from the things he has been promised by the colonial masters. So he told the woman, the widow, count your children, count your sheep, count your animals, count everything you have, your properties, because we're going to tax you on these things. And that is how they make their money. If they don't tax the people, if they don't keep the people in a situation, in a tight corner, they will not make their monies. They need the people to continue to think, hey, water, hey, water, hey, we hail you, Odogu, when you see, because they know the people are frustrated, the people need something to excite them, so they keep doing things that will make the people excited, make the people jumping and jamboree, so that the people will feel, because at that point the people are subject to emotional appraisal and emotional, emotional excitement. So that would help when they tell, wow, we have gone to shoot down one military man somewhere. The people, wow, this is it, water, we are coming, Biafra is here. And the people are frustrated. That is why they need something to make them happy. And they know that when they tell you they shoot one soldier, you'll be happy. They tell you that they have bought one fighter jet, they have bought 10, they have already shot down one helicopter. You'll be excited. This is where they keep you down, locked up in your mind. Your mind is restricted and stopped. You don't have the ability to reason again. That is where they lock you up. And this nonsense has to stop. And you must know that you are being messed up and fooled around by these people. Look at the whole excitement. Where are you now? You are still busy telling us that it is coming. You know why? Because that social media publicity is necessary and very effective in manipulating you. If we all decide to do it the way I'm talking about right now, which everyone who is a true follower of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu would come under the auspices of this program we're talking about, accountability and transparency, and begin to develop each community in Biafra land strategically. Some people will say, how possible is that? You don't understand. There is a strategic plan to do that. The freedom we seek will come without violence. You're not going to be afraid of soldiers coming to kill you. We're not going to be afraid of soldiers coming to kill you. You're not going to be afraid of, you being gunned down. You don't even need to be talking about Biafra everywhere. We won't talk about, you don't even need that. You just find yourselves concentrating on building your community and the friends and the brothers, sisters you have in your community. When you people have sustained a formidable platform for the success of every young person in your community, the next phase of freedom will be very easy. We would walk into our freedom without stress, without shooting anything, without shooting at ourselves on the foot. Without shooting ourselves on the foot. Now, whatever you are doing, you are shooting yourself on the foot. because the Nigerian government is working with the Nigerian security agencies, working with some of these people you are talking about water and all of this stuff. When they carry out an action, they will run away. The Nigerian government will come there and carry the youths in those areas because they know their men are not in that area anymore. They take their men away. They allow the Nigerian contraption come there, take the young boys there, those ones who, because they know those ones will not want to agree with their men, be part of them. They'll pick you up. So they want to keep. It is only the people that are with them they will inform that will run away from that place. They will capture the rest who are not with them. That is how they use Nigeria security agencies to capture other people who believe in other groups. They come to that particular place. They know their men. They know their people. They commit a crime there. They kill a military man there, or they carry out an action there. Then they all run away to their tent and their camp, informing their people who trust them, who believe in them, to also leave because they know Nigerian contraption will send their security agencies to that place. Then you are there because you don't believe in them. You are still in your community. They don't give you any information. Then the Nigerian contraption will send their security men. They'll come there. You now become a victim. They capture you and kill you. Now, when they capture you and kill you, you go and start confessing. I am this, I am that. Then they kill you. They know that they have used the Nigerian agents to kill you because you refuse to join them. Without mental, economical development, nothing reasonable can ever be obtained. In fact, the more you think that your water will work for you, the more you are going to go farther away from your freedom. I've said so many things. I wish some of you who are just joining, or those of you who you will watch later, you watch it from top to the end. You can hear the information I've given in this book. That's very, very powerful information. Very, very powerful information. Economic program is very crucial now. Stop being fooled around. Stop fooling around and allowing yourself being fooled. Factual facts, yes. Stop fooling around. 2014 will not catch you up again, fooling around. Stop jumping around and jubilating around people who are doing nothing. They sit down somewhere, drinking champagne, and then they use their phone to type something. If they're busy, they're not going to be having time to be typing every 30 minutes or every 15 minutes or talking and making some caricature. They won't, because they have the social media is now giving them the money. You are also contributing. The fundraising period and other times you are sending money, and all they need to do is to concentrate on social media and to keep making you listen to what they want you to hear, because they know that is what you want to hear, and they are prepared. They have prepared it enough. Look at it. Anything that happens, they will attribute it to themselves. It is because I did this. That is why Nigeria has done this. The security agencies are crying. They said they are coming to the southeast to discuss with social president, and it is because of me and my people. That's why they are doing that. The way to our freedom is and every one of you must understand that. That's it. They sit down comfortably and fool the people. Go to Twitter every moment they are typing it, because they need to keep making you listen. Remember when Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was here, what Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was telling you the truth, and so you were eager. Now these ones now are working for the Nigerian contraption, and they know the weapon, they know the tool, they know the manipulation, they know how to do it. They are then Simon Ekpa, people. Those ones come around, keep telling you, if you want to fall on the side of Nigeria, if Ren or Mokri are resisting Nigeria and you want freedom, you will now fall to the side of somebody like Simon Ekpa. They have already staged him there for you. So either side, wherever you belong, you are going to be under the Nigeria program. Because Arabweze is there with them and all of that, and other people, they are there waiting for you. If you say, hey, it's Biafra, I want to follow, you come there, they are already there waiting for you. They keep manipulating you in Biafra mindset. If you say, okay, Nigeria can be better, and let me keep listening to people like Ren or Mokri, then you go to that side. They will now use that also to manipulate. So in order two ways you are being manipulated. Now, the reason why is this: the shepherd was struck, the sheep scattered, and the sheep will be confused. Everything that comes, they want to go, they see everything as security. You know, that is why you must understand that the freedom we seek is in our hands. If you can go to the broadcast from the beginning to listen, somebody's asking, why am I doing this? I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know whether preach. I don't know why you people don't want to listen to truth. Go to the broadcast from beginning and listen to what I've been saying. Then just keep your mindset. Oh, somebody wants to challenge me. Don't worry, I'm going to set you. If you want to discuss with me face to face, I'm going to do that. Very, very ready to do that. So maybe you are going to set it and invite me. Just set it and invite me, and I'm going to speak with you face to face. I love this challenge. Now, not on this broadcast. I've already exhausted time and I've spoken. This broadcast is a particular focus. If you want a particular, you talked about StreamYard. That means you know things about this whole stuff. You know, let's organize it. Give me a link and I'll join you. I'll link it to this broadcast and let people listen. I'm ready with you. Whatever time you want it, I'm ready to talk. I'm ready for you. Just prepare yourself. Prepare yourself very well. You can bring other people into it that believe in what you are saying. I alone will be there. I'm not going to bring any other person. I alone will face the 3 or 4 of you. I'm ready. So just give me any time you want, and I'll be there for you. I'll be there to discuss with you guys. I'm ready. I'm not doing my thing because of hatred or any other thing. I'm doing my thing because anytime, if you want it today, later in the day, let's do it. I've just finished 1 hour plus. This is 1 hour, 30 minutes. I need to do other things. Then later in the day, just tell me when you'll be ready and I'll know whether I'll have the time. I'll just write a time now. Tell me when you'll be ready, what time you want it. And I'll be prepared. I'll wait for you. And I'll join you and connect with other people in your belief. Send a link to them to let them listen to us discuss. And then we can now talk effectively. And then we can now understand, so that we at least this kinds of challenge is very, very important. Where you should send me the link on Harry Standard. Small letters HARRISTANDARD. Harry Standard. HARRI, not Y. Harry Standard at gmail.com. And I'll join you 4 p.m. BIAFRA time. 5 p.m. BIAFRA time. It's good for me. And then we discuss. And I'm ready. So for those of you who have not listened to this broadcast, go back to the beginning. You will see that I've exposed so many things. I've opened up so many things that you need to know, and especially so that you'll be aware of what is happening. The colonial masters are very smart. They have employed professionals to advise them. So if you think that in your little corner, it is what you know that is in your mind that is playing out there, you should know that it's a joke. When Hamas was given an opportunity to govern Gaza, what did they do? They built over thousands of tunnels, which means when you think that you are doing your normal thing, Israel was busy doing their development, trying to better the lives of the people. But your enemy, his own plan and program, his own mindset is how to bring you down. And every idea that comes into his mind is meant to bring you down. That's all. So they went on, instead of the monies, the international community was given to the Gaza, the Hamas leadership. They were using the money rather than feeding the people and building roads and getting schools and building schools, building hospitals, and build water, reservoirs for the people to have water, so that Israel will not be supplying them waters anymore and all of that. Instead, they were using the money to build tunnels. What does that tell you? The Nigeria contraption has strategically positioned people. As you are busy going every day, working under the companies where you're going, thinking of how your family is going to survive, how your children are going to feed, and all of that, they are planning those ones they have contracted on whether in your in your community, whether in your nation, whether from your tribe and all of that. Those ones, their job is to sit down to plan how you that goes every day out to go to work, to go do your things, take care of your children, take care of your future. They are there devising strategy that would destroy you, steal that resources that you're looking for, steal it from you when you get it, destroy your children, kill your children, take over your land, take over your property. And they are very strategic. They utilize people that you never believe, people you can never believe. And they know that in your emotional state of mind, based on your slavery mentality, you have been reduced to less critical thinker. You are less of a critical thinker. So they position everything around you that will make you look like you are having solutions from the situation around. And then I said make it 5 p.m. Biafra time. 4 p.m. Biafra time it's not good for me. In fact, even if 6 p.m. Biafra time is even better. But make it 5 p.m. Biafra time, please. 4 p.m. is not good for me. I've been here. I need to go do some other things. So if you really want us to talk to the people out there and let them listen to us, then make it 5 p.m. Biafra time. Send me the link, harrystandard@gmail.com. I'm going to join that link and get the number of people you want to get to be part of your best hands who are ready to defend whatever you are doing. And then I'll be there. And then we'll discuss critically. That's it. It's not a personal thing. It is about what is right to do and what we need to get the people to do in freedom that we deserve. So I've given you 6 p.m. Biafra time. Good, no problem. 6 p.m. Biafra time is good for me. It's going to be a very good one. So we discuss properly and very effectively. Ego, you're asking what do you mean Elvis? He's thrown up a challenge. So I don't know who the Elvis is. .nation. Elvis.nation. I don't know who he is, but I know he is critically one of the autopilot group members by the logo I'm saying. So we're going to be talking. So I want Biafrans, those of you who are watching and those who also can prompt other people, please alert other people, let them come to listen to us. Please get anybody who want to get to be part of the discussion for us to discuss. I would be very happy. Please let them not come with arguments. When we are talking, we talk. When whatever they need to jot down, we jot, and then you take it up from there and we talk about them. Yeah, we want to talk. Yeah, that's true. You're correct. We need to talk because the most important thing is that we be on the right path and make sure that the right path, because we're not misleading and misdirecting our people. That's the most important thing. And that is why it is important for that to be done. That discussion is very critical. I've not actually I've been asking for this discussion, for a long time, but I've not. Thank God that someone has come up now to say, let's discuss. That anything that is true, I will support. So for me to talk about anything, that there's something I've seen, and we're going to talk about that. Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Elvis. See you then. 6 p.m. Biafra time, I'll be here live. So I have to shut down now, go do what I have to do. So thank you all. Please, if you are just joining, like this broadcast, share on all your social media platforms. There are so many things we have said that are very critical from the beginning. I mean, very, very important things I've revealed today. That's why this broadcast took long. It's 1 hour, 28 minutes now, going on 29 minutes, 1 hour, 29 minutes. It has taken long because there are so many things, so many crucial facts that I pointed out that people need to hear. There's so many things you need to hear from the beginning of this broadcast. My God, it's so powerful. So listen to it from the beginning and understand the facts and the things that I have mentioned, and then think for yourself. Let it resonate in your mind, and then understand what is going on. And so you can know how to walk in 2014 in anticipation of true freedom, not in illusion of a freedom. Very, very important. And please subscribe to this channel if you have not subscribed. So many people have refused to subscribe anymore. they unsubscribed. I just keep smiling. If you unsubscribe, what will you do now? I keep saying the truth. If you say you want to unsubscribe from someone who say the truth, now you sabi. But if you have not subscribed, please go there, subscribe. Keep speaking truth to power. Deborah, thank you so much. I'll keep doing it. Thank you so much, Ego. Thank you so much. Thank you. Yes, I'll keep speaking the truth. And you know me, I'll keep speaking the truth. And you also, I know you are someone who stands for the truth. We're going to meet. Then let the people, and let Elvis to get your people who want to be commenting, sending their comments. Let them also be disciplined, not emotional, disciplined and strategic, intelligently strategic. Let them be there, and then let the comments roll and all of that. So we're going to be there 6 p.m. Biafra time, and every one of us too we're going to be there. Thank you so much, all. I appreciate you guys. And please enjoy the rest of your day. If it's night for you, let your sleep be fine. If it is evening for you, enjoy the evening. If it is already midnight, you're sleeping as you wake up, good morning to you, and enjoy the rest of the day. Thank you so much, everyone. I appreciate you guys, and God bless you very good.